очень не смог.
Well, I think Alpha Cast said it best, man. I mean, they're just working well as a team together, and yeah, you can have those sort of individual weaknesses if you shore it up with a lot of good coordination. I think that's what we saw from France on King's Row. We'll see if we see it on Hanamura.
Well, and we heard they have 2 pro players, 1 semi-pro player, and the rest of the guys are casters or streamers, and to have that communication around some of the ults that we saw on the last map, they were anticipating their shot calling was obviously strong for a team that isn't entirely composed of professional players.
Yep. I mean, if nothing else, if you're a caster and you end up in this situation, you can just play Lucio. There's always Lucio,
There's always Lucio.
You just got to break it down, and that's all you need to do.
Let somebody else tell you when to ult.
That's right. Let them call it speed boosts. Let them call it ults. You just break it down. Well, Singapore on offense as we started here on Hanamura, and right away the pharmacy combo, your farm Mercy, being tried out.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see that crew is going to be on the McCree again.
Yeah.
They will have the tools to deal with this right off the bat. He's going to get bounced around into an ice block.
I'm going to draw out that ice block fairly early, keep himself alive as he bounces onto the high ground here, has to back away from the rest of his team. Crew gets the kill onto the Mercy, though, and so Singapore may struggle a little bit with this. And now, yep, only 17 health, 1 health, 0 health, and Crew gets another one. He has really been kind of the one-man defense against this Pharah that Singapore's tried to bring at France.
He's been an excellent, basically, surface-to-air battery throughout this series,
Totally.
and that's all he has to do, because they are committed. When we think about Singapore, when they use Pharah and Mercy, they are committed to using the 2 of those heroes together. And if you can just take one or the other of them out, you basically strip the composition of a lot of its usefulness, because by themselves, they are not that powerful.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen a little bit more of the Pharah without the Mercy lately, but it's still not terribly common. And taking a look at some of Crew's stats so far, 3 limbs, 0 deaths already on this map as Singapore goes for another push. Deadeye activated. Crew feels he needs to use it, looking for a couple. Maybe he'll get him. Gets one onto Reborn. It's nice to get that Tracer out of the way. They've got the sound barrier to try to keep him healthy. Flashbang onto the ulting Winston, and the damage piling up there, finally taking out Revenant. And he was on his own through the whole thing. I mean, Singapore had already had to fall back. So, again, just kind of a little bit of a lack of coordination for the Singaporean team.
That's why May is so excellent on this point. You could basically force them to fall back by consistently walling off the entrance. So many heroes are not able to get around that impediment.
Yeah.
And to go back to what you were saying about the Pharah Mercy combo, I actually these days think I like Pharah without Mercy more, because again, it's less of a commitment. So I think if you have great Pharah and Mercy players, you can get away with it, but it's easier just to run. Gives you another nano boost target if you want when you're running the Luciana. And that makes a big difference, but they're going to try and engage it. Wow, wall comes in.
Good wall.
Right as Revenant jumped in, he is just focused down again, isolating the targets behind the wall.
I mean, okay, nano boost onto the Reiner. They're going to go aggressive here. France pushing way back. Meanwhile, Colbat getting sneaky with a Pharah on the outside. Yeah, he does have the barrage, but nobody's home. And this is the loneliest Pharah I've ever seen. All right.
Crouching on top of a temple.
And, you know, hey, we got our wish. Pharah by herself, right?
My ultimate is ready.
So, okay, well, this is something we don't see very often, I guess. France may be caught unawares by this Pharah. Oh, well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right, you gave away your position, buddy.
The jig is up, Colbat.
Yeah, all right, well, the Tobelstein dropped down. Reborn's the first to drop as France just continues to be aggressive right outside the door of the shrine here, and Colbat's still lurking on top of the roof.
Crew knows.
All right, yeah, well, of course. I mean, Colbat's been shooting at people from there. They know. Trying to knock him off, but
Colbat at 5 HP right now.
This is so annoying.
There is a health back underneath if he wants to try and chance it. It's a bit of a risk.
All he needs to do is get breathed on by somebody, and he's going to get taken out. Is he going to actually escape here? No, no, he's not. Like, that was like a Looney Tunes slide off the roof there. It was cute, but it did not work at all. Crew jumping onto Doubted now. He's going to go down real fast. And Singapore, you know, again with no push, and, you know, talking again about, as we see Lucio fall to his doom.
Noah, that's one of the times
I had a point
that
to
you
make,
just
but
need to get off the map and reset with your team. He was trying to reset. Pamu had died before he got stuck up there, and that meant he was just saying, okay, everybody's going to come in, I'm going to get the flank, but then he blew his own cover. There was no more surprise, and that's probably going to be just about it here as
Well, they're going to send in the Remnant with the Primal Rage. He's going to try to survive, but that's a great Graviton surge from Nox as he groups up a lot of the members of Team Singapore. They did get some time on the point, though. This might be an opportunity here, but no, there goes some Mercy. And now as they finish off Revenant, I think it's going to be a hold for France, but they're not done quite yet. We'll see. Kobat very low, taken out, and that powered up Zarya. Plenty to hold the point. Goodbye overtime, and France holds it on point A.
And that means that France only has to take a single point, and they will be taking the match, their first in their group up against Singapore. So
64-11 in the limbs for that first round.
Yes, it has been rather one-sided, but Nox has been really good on the Zarya. Actually is tracking there on the Pharah. But again, I'm just impressed by the shot calling. The communication within France seems very clear.
I agree.
They always know where the threats are coming from. They always know which ultimates are up. They're always planning. So shot calling looking strong.
Yeah. You know, one thing I wanted to mention, too, with the Pharah Mercy combo is having that Mercy there, I think, incentivizes you to play a little bit more aggressively. But I think the Pharah serves a better purpose as kind of a longer-range backline poking champion, or a hero right now, rather. And, you know, we're seeing Singapore try to kind of get aggressive with that Pharah Mercy combo, and they're just not seeming to be able to handle that without dying pretty quickly.
Yeah, and again, if you have the Ana and you have the Lucio, you have the ability to speed boost and nano boosted Pharah in there, which is situationally usually not what you want to go for, but situationally we've seen it work. Korean teams like to run Pharah like this. Rogue with Tavik likes to run Pharah like this sometimes.
Wow, and seeing the golden Symmetra gun for the second time today, I did not expect that. They're going to go triple support here on defense. Zenyatta, Symmetra, and Ana. Interesting. Okay. So Zenyatta's nice on this map, of course. You can put a lot of long-range damage on. The Orb of Discard is fantastic. And then if things get hairy on the point, you can go in there with the Transcendence at a moment's notice. Obviously, the defensive option potentially strong for Symmetra. So it's an interesting comp. I like to see it being used. But with France's comp, they're going to be very aggressive. We'll see if they can just roll right through it with that dive-oriented composition.
Well, we get to cast a Pharah without a Mercy now, so
hooray!
Our conversation became relevant. It's almost like we're psychics.
Yeah, and see, I mean, crew doing what we were talking about, staying back, being a little bit more defensive with that Pharah, just going for the poke, building up that ultimate, taking out turrets too.
Yeah, D-Gun got through the upper window and onto the top of the temple, and now that is a big problem.
Yeah, that's Zenyatta. Well, he's going to take a long time to get back. And there's another kill. Pamu goes down, so two supports already taken out by D-Gun. And he is just one-man slaughtering Team Singapore. And it looks like France may be able to take the point pretty close right here. Although crew, he gets back up.
Nice, rocket jumps his way back up. But everybody else is dead right there. Trying to distract the Reinhardt on the side. Reborn's just attempting to tickle him from range with his left click, but it's just too far.
Yeah.
Just a game of ult build up right now.
Yeah, buying time as France gets back onto the point yet again. Crew going for the knockoff on the Barret, doesn't quite land it here. Has to deal with the Reaper, so he's going to back away. I heard an Earth Shatter go down. Looks like that was from Doubted. Crew has the barrage now, and he's just going to pop it. Yeah, just wants to get rid of Zenyatta and just fire rocket itself into space.
Space rockets are the best rockets, Stoa.
They work out. You know what else is pretty nice? France taking this point. Oh, and there's a nano boost for the cleanup. Dives into the Graviton Surge at the end, and he's just going to walk forward, and that is it. France able to take Hanamura post-haste.
Well, if you look at the first defense by Singapore there, when you have that Genji, you really need, if you're going to be using the Zenyatta, to sort of keep at least a couple of your supports together for some sort of defense. Otherwise, you get 1v1, you get picked off, and there's not that much you can do. Or you have a McCree back there with your Genji, Orb of Discord, straight into Flashbang. There's a possible counterplay, but D-Gun did a great job of just sort of reaming the back line.
You know, it feels like we should have more maps than that. It all ended too fast, Monty Chris, so I wanted a little bit more Overwatch from that. But France had the coordination, had the ability, had the individual prowess, and they will get a clean 2-0 victory over Singapore.
And that's the performance they need.
Absolutely.
Seeing Thailand and China in the previous match, you gotta come back with a strong performance here to show that this is still going to be a hotly